Hey there, folks. Welcome to another installment of the HTFL about to get started. First off, if you are seeing this and it is anywhere before Christmas of 2020, I wish you all a happy holidays and a happy new year. As we get closer and closer to the start of 2021, as I open up my Coke, see, I drink Coke. I don't drink alcohol. Well, I do, but I mean, I don't do it when I'm doing games. I guess that would be, doing play-by-play under the influence. Well, the old greats used to do it all the time, like Pat Summerall and Howard Cosell. Have you ever read any books that they would get loaded? you know. But anyway, I just wanted to say we're almost out of this disastrous year that 2020 has been, and who knows, maybe 2021 winds up being worse. But I'm very excited as I record this on the 20th of December 2020 to get the HTFL Season 1 playoff started. And we're going to do our first playoff game. We do four this week. We're going to divide the first round into two parts. We're going to do four games. I'm going to do four games this week, four games next week, so everybody can enjoy their Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And the hope is to get this project done on January the 15th. So we have that to look forward to. As I record this, the Bucks just defeated Atlanta 31-27. They are very, very close to winning a playoff spot, and that has a lot of Bucks fans happy. The Bucks were down 17-0 today to Atlanta, and they came back magnificently in the second half. Tom Brady throwing a strike to Antonio Brown. So the area is getting excited that they have a contending football team again. I originally thought that the Bucks getting Tom Brady would be a bad investment because he's 43. How long is he going to keep playing football? I know he wants to keep playing 2 or 3 years, but it's a short-term investment, and there's no guarantee that a short-term investment would pay off. And if it didn't pay off, then the Bucks would really be in deep doo-doo in the seasons that followed, and they still might be. This might just be passing glory for a year or two for the Bucks, but they really looked like a team that can contend today. So I'm going to get out of the way. We're going to get our game started in 15 seconds. So stand by, please. And now it gives me time to put my slides up. Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents our very first HTFL playoff game. Today we have Cleveland traveling to Baltimore, a rematch from a couple of weeks ago where Baltimore won. They are playing again, and this time the loser goes home. And we're going to have 15 playoff games over the next 4 weeks, and we're going to find our first HTFL champion. And the championship game, the hometown bowl. I'm gonna go with that right now and use NWA Total Kayfabe's idea of the hometown bowl. That's going to be played at the Coliseum in Los Angeles virtually, and that will be Friday night, January 15, if all goes well. So I do not use the playoff brackets to set up my playoff because it's basically 4 conferences and not 2, and it really doesn't give me a way to set it up. So we're going to play this game. I'm going to have to manually set it for January, so just hold on a moment. No, not February. We're going to play in January, and it's 37 degrees, a wind of 0 to 10 miles per hour. I play as Baltimore. The computer will play Cleveland. When we get to the championship game, the computer will control both teams, and I will just make decisions such as whether or not to go for 2, kick field goals. I'll just do like fourth down decisions and so forth. Actually, the 12 teams will be controlled by the human, but I will let the CPU call plays for both sides when we get to the hometown bowl. Baltimore won the toss. They will receive. The only rule change that takes place with the playoffs now kicking in is when we go to overtime, we play until somebody scores, which is how they used to do it. First score wins. And it's Otto Graham against Johnny Unitas. And it's Paul Brown against Brian Billick. These teams played twice before against each other. Baltimore lost the first game, then came back, won the second, which clinched their playoff spot. And then Cleveland, who had a good year going 10-6, and Baltimore going 11-5. Lewis, Hildenbrand, and Laird back deep. And we're underway with the playoffs. And this return, Lewis going 27 yards to the 30. Okay, how do I say this? My little faces here are not being shown, so I'm going to turn them off real fast. So just stand by a moment. I had to move the game folder from one area to the next. So with those photos you've been seeing during the season will disappear. For Baltimore, Lewis and Washington are the running backs. Berry and Alexander at wideout. Heap the tight end. Unitas quarterbacking. Ogden, Yanda, Curry, Barwidge, and Vogel will be your offensive linemen. And let's see what the Colts can do on 1st and 10. We'll go trap right to Jamal Lewis. And Unitas was looking to call an audible, but did not. A gain of 10 and a first down for the Ravens. For Cleveland, it's Ford, Burnett, Rimkus, and Shirk. The front four, Banks, Johnson, Matthews. The linebackers, Dixon, Menafield, Darden, and James. Dixon and Menafield were the stalwarts of the Cleveland defensive backfield in the 80s. Cleveland is a combination of the two Browns franchises and the Cleveland Rams. And I've been saying all year, was there a Cleveland Ram on this team? Yes, there is. Jim Benton. Baltimore is a combination of the Colts prior to their move to Indianapolis and the Ravens when they moved from being the original Cleveland Browns. So a 1st and 10 for Baltimore at the 40 after I spit all that out. Here's Lewis on an outside run. We're just going to call an outside run. Let the computer decide which. Get loss of 3 and Burnett on the tackle. Now, during the tail end of the regular season, we showed you the status of the team as they went through the playoffs, and I can't show you anything yet because this is the first playoff game. And we'll also check Cleveland real fast, see if they have any injuries coming in. They do not. So both teams got healthy. A 2nd and 13, we're going to go Ray Berry on the slant. And that's on the mark and a first down, a pickup of 16. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Let's see if Lenny Moore coming in was good. Yes, it is confusing the Browns. They put a linebacker on Lenny Moore, and this could be trouble. Medium slant to Moore here. Incomplete. And we have something happening here. An incompletion. Yes, 2nd and 10. The game froze for a moment. My apologies. Even though I had nothing to do with it. We're going to go screen to Lewis. 2nd and 10. Out of the 3 wide receiver backfield offense. It's a gain of 11. Banks making the tackle at the 36. And it's 1st and 10 for Baltimore on the move. We're going to go Joe Washington on a screen. Get Unitas all warmed up. That's complete to Joe. 30, 25, 20, inside the 15 to the 13. A pickup of 23 yards. So whoever wins today moves on to the Northern Conference Final, and they will play the Green Bay Minnesota winner, which will be our game tomorrow. Okay, we're going to go slant to Berry on 1st and 10 from the 13. Just keep going to our receivers until they start to simmer a little bit. That's incomplete. Ogden wound up nearly catching that one. Now a 2nd and 10 at the 13. Back to Lewis, trap right. He'll get inside the 10 to the 8 for a pickup of 5. Now a 3rd and 5. The ball at the 8, which I just said. Hitch to Heap. Unitas throws incomplete. So a 9-play, 62-yard drive. Its 10th play will be a field goal.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Yanda with the false start backs the Ravens back 5. We call them the Ravens, not the Colts, because the Colts in the HTFL play out of Indianapolis just like they do in real life. Here is Tucker. His kick pushed right, no good. And you got to wonder if not the Colts, but the Ravens could be snake bit. Here I was trying to explain that they are the Ravens and isolate the Colts. So here we go with Cleveland, the 1st and 10 at their own 20. 10:04 left, opening quarter. Brown and Motley, the running backs for Cleveland. Jim Brown, Marion Motley. This is a combination of the Browns and the Rams, as I was saying. Mitchell and Warfield are your wideouts. Winslow at tight end. That's Kellen Winslow Jr. Thomas, Hickerson, Mack, Willis, and Schaffrath are going to be your offensive linemen. And Otto Graham is your quarterback. He is out of, not Miami, of Florida. That's Kellen Winslow Jr. Otto Graham is out of Northwestern. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 20. And we'll give you the Baltimore defense in a moment. Both teams without injury. That's a gain of 11 as Graham threw to Mitchell for an 11-yard gain to the 31. And that was thrown into double coverage, but Graham and Mitchell find a way to beat it. 1st and 10 at the 31. This is Jim Brown, the rushing leader of the HTFL Season 1. He made the All-Pro team, a gain of 2. Kept calling them in the recap show that you just saw, perhaps, the All-HTFL team. No, we're going to call them an All-Pro team. 2nd and 8. Ball spotted at the 33. Brown again, picking up 5, and Terrell Suggs making the tackle for Baltimore. Speaking of Baltimore, never got to their defense. It's Marchetti, Nagata, Lipscomb, and Donovan, your front 4. Hendricks, Lewis, McAllister. Hendricks and Lewis are the 2 linebackers because it's a 3rd down, and right now they're playing in a nickel defense. McAllister, Keene, Reed, Volk, and Stukes are back in the backfield. And I was mentioning Jim Benton. He is now in the game. And we could show you, yes, he was with the Cleveland Rams, not the Cleveland Browns, who didn't start playing in the AAFC until 1946. A 3rd and 3 at the 38. Over the middle, incomplete, looking for Benton, but Stukes provided coverage. So I'll give you a rain check on Baltimore's defense. Blocked punt by Mad Stork Ted Hendricks. Picked up by McAllister, no return. And with the blocked punt, it is 1st and 10 at the 24. Gary Collins was back to punt. Ted Hendricks came right up the line and got one of his big mitts on it. So Baltimore in good shape at the 24 of Cleveland. And this would be a good time to do a play action, which I'm going to do. And we're going to go medium slant to Ray Berry. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 24. 3 wide in the game now, and they're going to go motion Lenny Moore. And look at this, folks. He's got an 88% chance of catching a short pass because he's paired up against the linebacker. Medium cross is what we're going to do because that has an 85% chance of getting a touchdown. Oh, did I say he got a touchdown? Yes, he did. Lenny Moore. Because Lenny Moore is also a running back, the game has a little problem with that, and they put a linebacker lined up as a corner against Moore, and Moore will beat that every day and twice on Sunday. Your point after is good by Tucker, and it's 7-0 Baltimore with 7:32 now left in the opening quarter. Metcalf, Mitchell, Motley back deep for Cleveland, but this will be a touchback. 1st and 10 Cleveland at the 20. And that is Brown picking up 5. Hendricks, Lewis, and Suggs are the linebackers, and the defensive backs for Baltimore in a base formation are McAllister, Keene, Reed, and Volk. A good defense for Baltimore here. 2nd and 5 at the 25. They have 4 tens in the defensive backfield, not the backfield, but on defense they have 4 tens. which is not bad. And Ed Reed is a 10 plus and just missed out on being the defensive MVP of the season to Aaron Donald of the Rams. And this is Jim Brown gaining 1. 3rd and 4 now at the 28 with 7:12 left in the opening quarter. Graham looking for Brown, and Brown was wide open. Gain of 17. Ted Hendricks had to make the stop there, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 43. First game, the first round of the playoffs. 15 games to knock out 15 teams. Brown, a loss of a yard on that play. Ed Reed came up and made the tackle for Baltimore. Ed Reed out of the University of Miami saw Baltimore go to 2 Super Bowls. 2nd and 11 at the 42. And that is to Benton, and Benton picks up 16. And it was another double coverage situation for Baltimore that got beat. So Otto Graham, better lucky than good right now. It's a 1st and 10 at the Raven 42. Motley, who had some big yardage against Baltimore, which was the last game we did. That's a gain of 12. Volk on the tackle for the Ravens. I nearly said Colts again. It's now 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 30. Graham, that was incomplete, looking for Kellen Winslow Jr. Graham was hurt a couple of weeks ago in that Baltimore game. Milt Plum had to come in and finish that up, but the Ravens had were already winning going away. 2nd and 10 at the 30, or 1 going away, perhaps because of Plum. Here's Motley, broke through a couple of tackles, down to the 12, pickup of 18. Ray Lewis finally bringing him down, and it's 1st and 10 at the 12. Not Motley, but Brown trying to turn the corner, cannot. Loss of 4. Terrell Suggs making the tackle. 2nd and 14 at the 16. Motley, 2 carries, 30 yards, leading the Cleveland rushers right now, which is surprising when you got Jim Brown in the backfield. That was a throw for Bobby Mitchell, incomplete. A 3rd and 14 at the 16. That was intended for Benton. No catch. So a field goal try here. 4th and 14. This would be from 33. And it's good. A low kick, but it went over my bar. And it is now 7-3. 1:39 now left in the opening stanza. And this was taken by one of the up returners, Hildenbrand. But Hendricks commits a holding penalty. 1st and 10 at the 12. It's going to be a dive play for Jamal Lewis here on 1st and 10. He gains 7 yards, a little oomph on that rush. Setting up 2nd and 3. Here comes Lenny Moore. And again, he's being isolated against the linebacker here, so I'm going to try to take advantage of that. Slant to Lenny Moore on 2nd and 3. Instead, it's stumped over to Alexander, who picks up 7. Unitas has started 5 of 9 for 81 yards and a touchdown. Should be the last play of the period coming up. Here is Lewis. Screen. And Lewis did not get much on the screen. In fact, he lost 3. That does it for the opening quarter of play. It is 7-3 Baltimore. Cleveland had gained 82 yards that quarter on 15 plays, 97 for Baltimore on 14. 2nd and 13. A lot of teams. And we'll go to Lenny Moore on the medium hitch. That's caught. A gain of 17. Putting a linebacker on Lenny Moore was something I first noticed when Baltimore played Tampa Bay earlier in the season, and Lenny Moore just had a field day against the woeful Buccaneers, who went 3-13 this year in the HTFL. We're going to dive it to Lewis on 1st and 10 at the 40. And Lewis, a nice gain of 8.
Offsides, defense, number 90, 5-yard penalty.
I will accept the penalty, make it 1st and 5 instead of 2nd and 2. And we're going to go Barry again on the short cross. That's incomplete. That was actually thrown a little beyond being a short pass. 2nd and 5. How about a screen to Lenny Moore? You should be wide open for that. He is. Past the 50 to the 44, a pickup of 11. 1st and 10 at the 44 now of Cleveland. Joe Washington off tackle, right? They'll give Lewis a rest. And that's for no gain. And let's see what they do here. 2nd and 10 at the Cleveland 44 still. Lewis off tackle, right side. And he explodes for 19 yards to the 25. That gives Lewis 5 carries and 38 yards. Now it's 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 25. Moore comes back in. We're going to go medium slant to him. Baltimore playing back. I mean, not Baltimore, but Cleveland was playing back, expecting a pass defense there. And that falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. And we're going to go Lewis on a dive. Just to shorten the yardage a little bit. That's a pickup of 4. Chip Banks on the tackle for Cleveland. Now 11:23 left. 3rd and 6. 11:23 left in the half. Fly to Heap. Cleveland was playing back, and that's an incomplete pass. Tucker comes in. Now he's kicking into the wind for quarters 2 and 3. This will be a try from 38 yards, and he got it. So Baltimore extending the lead to 10-3. 10:34 left in the half. Metcalf, Mitchell, and Motley again back deep. This is going to be a touchback. 1st and 10 at Cleveland's own 20-yard line. Here is Jim Brown, and Brown explodes into the secondary, but he fumbles. It's recovered by Marion Motley, a gain of 12 total, and it's 1st and 10 now at the 32. Graham throws. Incomplete, looking for Paul Warfield. Warfield was pleading for a flag. McAllister with tight coverage. Graham has started 3 of 8 for 44 yards, but now the Browns have the wind at their backs. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Graham, incomplete, looking for Mitchell.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 76, 15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Big Daddy Lipscomb called for the roughing. 1st and 10 at the 47. Brown. The pictures are not working, and I apologize. It turns out that when I started up the HTFL, I had the season in the wrong folder, so I had to move it into the right folder for the playoff module to work. So we will be sans photos the remainder of the season. 2nd and 8 at the 49. This is Jim Brown. He gains 9 yards. It's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 42. So the Ravens backpedaling here. Here's Brown again. Again, he gets into the secondary and picks up 8 more yards. He's at 10 carries and 39 yards on the day. 2nd and 2. Ball at the 34. Motley, a gain of 3. 1st and 10 at the 31. Pitch to Motley, and I think he got back to the line. Yes, he did, and that's it. 2nd and 10 at the 31. 6:37 now left in the half. Incomplete. Motley was the intended recipient of a screen pass, but that ball's short. 3rd and 10. Big money down here for the Browns. Caught by Warfield, and he'll have 6 points. Touchdown. So unlike last week, not last week, but 2 weeks ago when Cleveland and Baltimore played, with the Baltimore winning at a laugher, the battle seems to be joined, although we got a long way to go. 5:42 left, the extra point good by Matt Barr, and we are dead even, 10-10. Lewis back deep, that's Jermaine Lewis. Takes it at the goal line, let's see how far he returns it. Out to the 17. Marchetti called for the hold. It's 1st and 10 at the 7. Jamal Lewis. Blitz coming, so we're going to take it to a Joe Washington screen pass. Incomplete. Matthews. Man, with a burst of speed, broke up that pass. And it's now 2nd and 10 at the 7. I just had the computer call play for some reason. Lewis, well, it was a good play. And I don't know what I did, but it did something good. A gain of 20 for Lewis. He is at 7 carries and 62 yards. And now we go up top. Play action long fly to Lenny Moore. Caught by Moore. 37 yards. And it's 1st and 10 at the 36 of Cleveland. Jamal Lewis. And Lewis weaving his way for 9 yards. He's at 71 total on the day and 8 carries. And on 2nd and 1, you know what we're going to do. We're going to go back to Lenny Moore. Medium cross. And Moore has another touchdown. 5 catches and 116 yards for him. His second of the day. And it is 16-10. Your point after try. Good by Tucker. 17-10. Moore now has, let's see here, he has 5 catches for 116 yards. And they continue to put linebackers on him. Don't ask me why. I didn't set it up that way. That's something the game has been doing whenever I use Baltimore. So I don't feel really compelled not to use that advantage to my advantage. Metcalf back deep. And it's a touch. 1st and 10 at the 20 with 2:52 left. Let's see if Cleveland can answer. No gain. And Cleveland's defense can do things too, like they could double cover more. They could change their coverage. If you're going to keep putting more against the linebacker, I'm just going to keep taking that and exploiting it. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Graham incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 20. So Graham, a do-or-die play here. He throws deep, and it's caught by Mitchell, a gain of 29. And Cleveland does not have a bad team, so, Cleveland can pass lights out too if they want to. 1st and 10 at the 49. That's incomplete. For the most part, I don't decide what the computer does. Now, I see instances like for instance, Tampa Bay was using Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback most of the year, and I said, no, we're going to put DeBerg in. In a couple of situations, yes, I will overrule the computer and personnel, but I don't tell it what to do per se. A gain of 11 as Graham threw to Winslow. And we were at the 2-minute warning at 17-10 Baltimore. Each team 2 timeouts left, each team using a timeout earlier in the half. That is Kellen Winslow for another 18 yards. Graham is now 7 of 15, 139. 1st and 10 at the 22 of Baltimore. Incomplete. Looked like they were looking for Winslow again in the flat. That falls short. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Graham. Winslow, a 1st down. And that moves the ball to the 10 with 1:42 to go. Brown straight ahead, picking up 4. No flag. And now a 2nd and goal at the 6 with 1:35 and the clock ticking. Graham's going to run. He's going to be short. Pick up of a yard to the 5. Now I'm going to call a timeout for Baltimore, because I could get the ball back with plenty of time myself. 3rd and goal at the 5. No, that was a throw to Benton, incomplete. I thought I saw something I didn't see. Barr will kick the field goal. It's good. And it's 17-13 with 1:10 to go. And I'll have 1 timeout to work with. And yes, I'm going to try to score here. And Lewis will down it because he's 5 yards deep. They keep putting a linebacker on Moore. This is getting foolish now. We're going to go long out, and we're going to go to Moore, who's way ahead. He's 67% chance of getting a completion.
Face mask. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Ford. Okay, so we're going to go long sluggo. Make that a long out. Actually, they're playing now. Cleveland has gotten smart. They have only one linebacker, and they got 6 in the backfield. So we're going to go over the middle to Raymond Berry. He's got it. Pick up a 15 if it holds.
Offsides. Defense.
And it'll hold.
Number 59. 5-yard penalty.
Johnson called for the hold. 1st and 10 at the 40, and I don't have to use a timeout. Very nice. More a medium out. 1st and 10 at the 40. That's incomplete. We're going to screen it to Moore on 2nd and 10. And Moore did not gain much. He lost a yard, actually. Cleveland calls a timeout. They have one left. And now they'll go 4 wide. And they'll look to Moore on a medium out route. That's incomplete. So Baltimore will have to punt. 4th and 11 at the 39. Koch kicks it away. That's a short punt. Only 35 yards out of it for Koch. And Metcalf made the fair catch. A 1st and 10 at the 26. 32 seconds left, and Cleveland has a timeout still. Incomplete, batted at the line. Looking for Motley. 2nd and 10 at the 26. Motley gains a yard. And does Cleveland call time? They do not. We might be going to the half. Nope. Brown picking up 4. 1 second left in the second quarter, first half. 4th and 5. I'm going to call time. And I'm going to go for the block here. You never know, because I just already got a block. I got a block punt when I didn't call a block punt. And we're just going to let this roll and get it to the half. And that punt by Collins went 51 yards. So we're at halftime. It's 17-13. Baltimore leading, and I will be right back. Getting you now ready for the second half of play. 17-13. Baltimore leading. Sorry about that, folks. There you go. Just reading some stuff on the fin. Okay, Baltimore, 255 yards on 31 plays. 22 of them have been passes, as Unitas has tried to exploit the mismatch involving Lenny Moore. Cleveland has run 38 plays, and they have 227 yards. So, seems like there's been a lot of plays in this game already. Metcalf back deep, and it's a touchback. Hope you didn't hear that. I just had one of those once-in-a-lifetime burps. 1st and 10 at the 20. I probably shouldn't drink Coke while I do these games. That's over the middle of the ground, but we have a marker down.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 76.
Nope, it's going to stand.
Penalty.
It'll be a first down for Baltimore a little farther up the field. That was a gain of 12 on the catch by Jim Brown. 2 today for 25. This is Bobby Mitchell? Yes, it is. A pickup of 14 on the reverse, or a jet sweep. And it's a 1st 10 at the 46. And I'm sure a lot of the Cleveland players are wondering, what the heck's a jet sweep? That was a long throw for Mitchell. Actually, a medium throw. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 now at the 46. And Jim Brown picking up 7 more yards. He's at 13 for 54 today, going with his 2 catches for 29. 3rd and 3 at the 47. Motley will have a first. That's a pickup of 5. Graham is only 9 for 21, 157 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 42 of Baltimore now. Graham back to throw. Looking. And he throws it away. He throws an interception to Keene. Tom Keene, which is for his first interception of the playoffs. And it's now 1st and 10 Baltimore at the 33. In comes Moore. He'll try a long pass to him. And Cleveland getting wise to what Baltimore is doing, but didn't stop the throw there.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete. A timeout will be charged.
And Moore, actually the catch is going to count. Cleveland was challenging that no, the ball hit the ground before Moore caught it, and the ruling was that he did indeed catch it, so it's a 1st and 10 at the 28. But Cleveland is getting wise to what I am doing, exploiting that Lenny Moore matchup against the linebacker. Lewis picking up 12. That's another first down. And the ball at the 16 will go Joe Washington on a pitch to the right side. And Joe will gain 5 yards. Joe Washington played his college ball at Oklahoma. And you see that there. Ball at the 11 for a 2nd and 5. Lenny Moore coming into the game again. You think we're going to throw it to him, right? Right? Well, that's what we're going to do. Slant. Looking for his 3rd touchdown of the day. And he's got it, and he's got 6 more points. They just can't stop Lenny Moore. His 8th catch of the day for 165 yards. Here's your extra point. Good by Justin Tucker, and it's 24-13. 10:35 left to go in quarter number 3. And this is Metcalf, I think. Yes, it is.
Receiving team.
But it's going to come back, a holding penalty against James. 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the 13. That is Lewis on the tackle of Motley, gaining 2 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 15. I just thought of an idea how to get the photos over. Gain of 7. So you could see the photos again. Pete Brewster is coming in as a 2nd tight end. On the last play, Brown gained 7 yards. He's up to 61 on the day, but Cleveland now needs 2 scores, and they did not get the first down with Brown carrying. Ray Lewis with a clutch tackle. And now Baltimore gets it back on the punt. I think they're too far into their own territory for them to attempt a fake. And this is Lewis. Jermaine Lewis picking up 10 yards, punt going 47, so the net will be 37. 8:14 now left opening in the opening quarter of the second half, third quarter. 24-13, Baltimore leading. Jamal Lewis, a trap left. We try to run the ball a bit more in the second half with the more than a score lead of 11 points. And it's now 2nd and 3, back to Lewis on a dive. And Lewis, into the secondary, picks up 9 yards. Washington will get the ball trap left. And he gains 5 more yards. Back to Lewis. Off tackle left. And Lewis with a first down and more. Pick up a 14. He's at 113 on the day. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 24. We're going to go Washington on the screen on 1st and 10. Completed. But was there holding?
Encroachment.
No.
Number 72, 5-yard penalty.
Move Baltimore up to the 1st and goal at the 8. I'm just going to keep going on the ground here. This is going to be Lewis, trap right. 5 yards.
Encroachment defense. Number 44.
So Rimkus, it's going to be a half the distance penalty. 1st and goal at the 4. Well, that's better than 2nd and goal at the 3. We're going to go, let's see, I don't want to use Unitas as a runner. We're going to go Off tackle right, Jamal Lewis. No gain.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 90. Automatic. First down.
Burnett called for a grab of the face mask. And it's now first and goal at the 2. Full house. And we're going to give it to Ray Rice. And he's got a touchdown. Ray Rice. His only carry of the day so far is for 6 points. (30-13). Your point after try is good. Tucker puts it through. And it is 31-13 with 4:50 now left in the third. Metcalf back deep. He'll return this. And a nice return for him. He returned it 34 yards. He was a yard deep in the end zone, so Cleveland starts first and 10 at the 33. Graham back to throw. He throws long. He's looking for Warfield. Warfield has it. Pick up a 45. Volk on the tackle for Baltimore, and it is now first and 10 at the 22 for Cleveland. Graham, incomplete.
Offsides. Defense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty.
Art Donovan called for an offsides. First and 5 at the 17. Motley, a first down. First and 10 at the 12 of Baltimore. So Cleveland could strike quick here. Speak of the devil, it's Jim Brown. A touchdown. And it's now 31-19. Barr will try the point after. Good. And it's 31-20 with 2:48 left in the third quarter. This kind of reminds me of the Florida-Alabama game for the SEC championship that took place when you see this a couple nights ago that went 52-46. Lewis back deep for Baltimore, and I'm going to return it. And he takes it out to the 23, but a penalty is going to bring that back a little bit. First and 10 at the 9. 3 wide. And we'll go Lenny Moore on the short out. And Moore with another catch. That's his 9th of the day, and he's got 175 yards. And a first down. We'll go Lewis on the dive, even though we're 3 wide. He gains 6 yards. He's up to 119 on the day, rushing. And we're going to go right back to him, off tackle right. He's got the first, a pickup of 6. And again, we're going to go, this time we're going to go to the post, Lenny Moore. There goes the throw. Looks like Moore will be open. He is. 56 yards for Moore. Unitas goes over 300 passing on the day. Moore has 10 catches for 231 now and 3 touchdowns. That'll do it for the third quarter. It is 31-20 in favor of Baltimore. They have 453 yards on 45 plays. Cleveland has run 50 for 336. Screen. Moore on first and 10 from the 13. Looking for another touchdown. That's incomplete. Moore, medium cross. Second and 10. Unitas will run instead, and he goes in. Touchdown. Ravens. Unitas from 13 yards out. It's 37-20 Baltimore. They're looking like they're going to advance to the next round of the playoffs, which will be for them 2 weeks away. Tucker with the point after. It's 38-20. And CBS News has projected that Baltimore is going to win. Just a joke there, folks. Metcalf, Mitchell, and Motley back deep. A touchback, Gary Collins comes in and will play as the 4th wideout. He wears 86. And this is Jim Brown, no gain. Second and 10 now at the 20. This is Mitchell gaining 3 and 3 only. A third and 7 at the 23. And that is Keene with his 10th tackle of the day. Graham ran for 5. A fourth down, Cleveland punting, which may not be wise considering they can't stop anymore. A fair catch for Lewis, and Baltimore takes over at their own 30. 12:22 now left, and it's 38-20 Baltimore. Lewis, a trap left. Back to the line. Second and 10. I'm just going to run the ball until I see Cleveland trying to make a comeback. Lewis, a dive on second and 10. He'll gain a few, a little more than a few. How about 8?
Holding offense.
But that comes back.
10-yard penalty.
Second and 20. We'll go Washington on a screen. Cleveland playing back. That's incomplete. Okay, more of another shot at it here, folks. Long hitch. Incomplete. 4th and 20. And Koch will punt. And we got a penalty here? Nope. Cleveland takes over. 11:09 left. They had a good season. They went 10-6 during the course of the regular season. They made the playoffs, but it looking like this will be the end of the line for them. Gain of 5 for Jim Brown. Second and 5 at the 34. Another end around the Mitchell for some inexplicable reason. That's a gain of 9. First and 10 at the 43 now. We got 10:14 left. Cleveland needs 3 scores. Gain of 13, as that was a throw to Gary Collins. First and 10 at the 44. Over the middle. Inside the 10 goes Benton for a gain of 37 down to the 7. First and goal at the 7. Brown picks up a couple to the 5. He's at 80 yards rushing on the day. Second and goal now. Graham throwing. Incomplete. Third and goal at the 5. Graham. Brown, incomplete. Now they can kick a field goal here, and that would get them down to 2 scores because it would be 15. They would need a 7 and an 8. Your kick was good by Barr. 38-23. Now, if I'm Baltimore, I'm looking for the onside kick, which they don't do. Go figure. That's Lewis returning 17 yards to the 20 from the 3. Okay, I'm going to go double tight. And we're going to go Lewis on a dive. Cleveland's got to be expecting that, but still Lewis weaves his way for an 11-yard gain. And we're going to go Washington off tackle right on the next first down play. And that's another big gain. Washington picking up 14. Washington now 4 carries and 24 yards. Lewis 16 for 136. It's first and 10 at the 45. And I think this is where you go to the passing game and you go Raymond Berry. That's caught. Gain of 13. Looked like Cleveland was playing in tight, so you got to throw over the top, even in this stage of the game. Keep them off balance. 6:21 left. Trap right Lewis on first down. He'll pick up 3, setting up a 2nd and 7. Back to a base formation. We'll go Berry. Short hitch on 2nd and 7. Short tight, so I'm going to go medium fly to Berry instead of a short pass. Throw over the top. There you go. It's a gain of 20 if it stands, and it will stand.
Number 90, 5-yard penalty.
So Unitas now 19 of 32, 349, 3 touchdowns. And we're going to go outside. We're going to run with Lewis. Gets inside the 20, past the 15 to the 13. A pickup of 6. And Lewis is 18 carries and 145 yards. Back to a double tight set. Joe Washington will block for Lewis on a dive play. Gain of 2. 3rd and 2 at the 11 as the clock winds down. On Cleveland season, they trail 38-23. Just over 4 minutes to go. We're going to go Lewis on a draw, which does not confuse Cleveland. Mike Johnson with his 10th tackle of the day. 4th and 2, Tucker will try a field goal here, which is good.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
Okay, so wipe off the field goal try here. It'll be Tucker from 38 now. That's good. And that sticks. It's 41-23. 2:32 left to go. Metcalf back deep. This will be a touch. And now Otto Graham, 12 of 27, 252 on the day. 1 touchdown, 1 INT. He runs on first down. He'll pick up the first down, a pickup of 11. Stukes hurt on the last play. 1st and 10 at the 31. So either Baltimore will host Minnesota or they will travel to Green Bay in the next round. Brown out of bounds after a 7-yard gain to the 38. Last play before the 2-minute warning likely. Graham just short of the first down. 3rd and inches. We've reached the 2-minute warning. It is 41-23 Baltimore. Cleveland with 2 timeouts and Baltimore with 3. 3rd and inches. That's a throw and an incompletion looking for Bobby Mitchell. 4th and inches at the 41. Warfield, can he get out of bounds? He does, a pickup of 14. 1st and 10 at the 45 as I hear some rumbles of thunder as I record this on a Sunday afternoon. That's incomplete. Tried to get the game in. 2nd and 10 at the 45. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. Still at the 45. Graham's going to run, and he squirts for 3 yards. 4th and 7 at the 42. Cleveland calls a timeout. Graham will throw. He's going to have to force one in there on 4th down. That's an interception by Stukes. His first of the year. And now, the Ravens can run out the clock. Why I keep calling them the Colts? Because they kind of look like the Colts. Unitas takes a knee. And Unitas will take another knee. That should do it. And that's your game. Baltimore punches their ticket to the last 8. They win 41-23 over Cleveland. Cleveland finishes 10-7 on the year. We'll go through the stats real quick. Lenny Moore, the MVP. Of course, he had a big day because Cleveland opted to have a line. That's more of a game flaw than anything else, but Cleveland could do. I didn't feel bad about exploiting it because Cleveland could do things like put more men in their defensive backfield, which they eventually did. And just because Lenny Moore has better of a completion percentage when you throw to him doesn't mean he's going to catch the ball all the time. So I just kept it going. You see the summary there. It was a close game in the first half, then Baltimore turned on the afterburners. And Moore had a big day. We'll just put it that way. We had 982 yards of total offense. Each team perfect in the red zone. Actually, no, Baltimore did not score on 1 possession in the red zone. They went 4 out of 5, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. But Cleveland was perfect, but they only got 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. 13 penalties in the game. 69 plays run by Cleveland. 60 by Baltimore. Baltimore flew high today. Better quarterback was Unitas, 19-32, 349, 3 touchdowns. Lewis, 20 carries, 147. Lenny Moore, 10 catches for 231. And a 56-yarder was his longest. He had 3 touchdowns receiving. The leading defender Well, we had Mike Johnson of Cleveland and we had Keene of Baltimore, each with 10 tackles. So, with that, I don't have playoff brackets to show you because I don't use the brackets. But I could tell you that with the win today, and I will punch this up here, Baltimore will now play the Minnesota Green Bay winner. If Green Bay wins, Baltimore goes to Green Bay. If Minnesota wins, then Minnesota goes to Baltimore. In our upcoming games, Minnesota and Green Bay is our next game. That'll be a third matchup between those two teams, Minnesota winning the first, Green Bay winning the second more recently. And then Wednesday night, we'll have New England and New York, another third time meeting. These two played opening day, as did Minnesota and Green Bay and Houston and New Orleans. And then Christmas Eve, we'll have a big one for you. Washington at Dallas. Washington was the front runner in the lower East Division most of the year, but Dallas not only caught up, but won the Eastern Conference, and they're the number one seed. And then next week, we got 4 more games in the first round. Carolina, Indianapolis, Houston, New York. Actually, that is not correct. Let me check that, change that right now. It is not Indianapolis at Carolina. It is Indianapolis at Carolina. And I hope I didn't mess it up when I put the schedule in, as I could show you. So that has been corrected. Yeah, Indianapolis and Carolina is the second game you see there. So I had it right in the system, but I did not have it right on my PowerPoint. Houston, New Orleans, KCLA, San Diego, San Francisco. Those will be 2 interesting games because those will be the first time those 2 teams have met each other, KCLA and San Diego, San Francisco. They did not meet in the regular season, whereas all these other games, these are the third meetings between these 2 teams. So I hope you enjoyed these last 57 minutes. Apologize for the technical issues of not showing you the photos of the players. I will work on that and try to get that corrected for the future games. As I was saying, this is Big Paulie coming to you. We're glad to have had you along the last 57 minutes or so. Godspeed and God bless. And we will do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.